cornerstone of President Trump.
That's right. That's right. That's what I meant. Jesus, guys. Jeebus.
Billy, do you think a lot of your chatters
This is
know the
disgusting.
lore between you
This is
and I?
horrible.
Like, what kind of lore?
How we met?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think they know the lore about, like, you on the date with me?
You are such a rage baiter. That's crazy.
What? Go ahead, say it. It's the truth. Don't be afraid of your past. That's
I'll
my
say
job.
it like this, okay? I met Mizkiff because when I first started streaming, there was a guy who named Rafflegator. He would do date shows. I went on there. Instead of winning, Mizkiff kicked me off the show because I started talking to his friend more than him.
Just think what you could have been
Okay.
if you didn't do that.
I'm getting major Diddy vibes. I can't lie.
Just think, if you just didn't talk to Lakari, you could have been with me all these years.
Jesus Christ.
And you would have been canceled right by my side.
What the frick is happening, man? It's all good, dude.
You were in love with me. Just admit it. Just tell the truth.
Am I in danger? Am I free to leave?
The other day I was going to my local Starbucks, and when I got to the till, the barista not only had the audacity to be a woman, derogatory, but also talk to me. This is unacceptable. So in no uncertain terms, I screamed, "Excuse me, whore! I'm married! Do not flirt with me!" As I proceeded to show her my phone wallpaper and wallet photos, which were both of my live fallen shadow, and then I proceeded to growl at her until the police arrived to escort me out. So how was you guys' days?
Hi, I'm Jean Kelly of Kelly Law Associates, and I'm here to tell you that I can get you off. I can legally get shit. Car accidents, tax evasion, minor genocide, it's all the same to me. Some might look at a man and see a husband who brutally murdered his wife and then kept her body in the trunk of his car for 3 weeks. But I see a man who just didn't know how to play tennis right and accidentally hit his wife with a tennis racket 36 times, and to keep her body warm, put her in the back of his Camry. Public masturbation? More like government exacerbation. I graduated top of my class at the University of Phoenix. Kind of. Just remember, I am the law, and I will get you off. Having a divorce, your kids don't love you anyway.
You got anyone you want to call out in the heavyweight division?
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that, Hasan Piker? I'm coming to kill you! In Los Angeles, at your house!
Or in the ring?
No, in real life. I'm going to stalk him and become obsessed with him, and wear his makeup, and his dresses, and use his skin as a coat, like the ancient Irish did.
Have you heard the good word? Trump's gonna get it done. He'll release the Epstein files on day one. The lambs will cry when those names are exposed. Trump's gonna see that justice is imposed. What's that? Oh no, he needs a few months. He wants a case airtight, no bumps. His AG Pam Bundy says files on her desk, and magnets got binders they can't attest. So he's releasing the files to catch all the pedophiles. Never met Epstein or touched anything. Just draining the swamp with Epstein's name off screen.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
I don't know, probably not.
Well, it's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a dark lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create... Dude, are you even paying attention?
Of course. Just carry on with your story, dude.
He had such a knowledge of the dark side, he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. Jesus Christ!
At V-Shoujo, we believe our talents aren't just workers, they're family. And like family, we guilt them into shutting the fuck up. From the moment you walk through our doors, we're here for you, listening, supporting, and going the extra mile to ensure that you can give us more money. At VShojo, we celebrate your victories, big and small, and stand by you for every challenge. Unless that challenge is being harassed for playing Harry Potter, then you're on your own. And when you do charity, don't worry. Your donations are secure with us. Secure to be given to the charity? Nah, we're keeping that shit. Fuck them kids, bruh. VShojo, where our talents have freedom. The freedom to get fucked over.
All right. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? We better be doing good, because if we're not, there's not really actually a whole lot of things I can do. But, just, be happy, I guess. Goddamn microphone. Okay. So, hello, Shiojo. Lick Skittles. Winter's History. Nico Manhattan Fox. Francis Karma TV. Chaos Smash. Don Hotokun. Meteoric. Drunken Moon, This Fantasy. Phoenix Fire, how's it going? And yes, I did see the lyrics, I just haven't read through them yet. Lucifer, how's it going? Oh, thank you so much, Winter's History, for becoming a Jarl. And MTRBMB, how's it going? Jillian Sealben Mall, how's it going? Rasmus0211, what's up? Thank you for being a member for the House Carl for 5 months. Perfect clip to end on. Yes. McSkittles, how's it going? You freaking racist, because I'm not a Keebler. So, because I'm not a Keebler, you're just a racist. That's how that works. Alright, so we have a number of things to be reacting to today. A little bit of LawTube, a little bit of history, a little bit of D&D, and some, it's some daily dose of internet as like a palate cleanser. So the first one's pretty hefty. It's posted by NateTheLawyer 2 days ago, and so it says that, Supreme Court to hear argument. Oh, no, that's the end of it. Okay. Supreme Court could force Trump to repay all tariffs. What is... Oh, Jesus. And then it says Lawyer... Then it says Lawyer explains, but holy crap, I'm sorry. Repay all fucking tariffs? Jesus Christ. I mean, it's one thing to declare them. I mean, I guess if they are declared illegal, they'd have to be paid back, huh? I guess that is correct. Oh, that's gonna be weird. Let's go ahead and stop our background music and get into this then.
Cornerstone of President Trump's economic agenda faces a major test at the Supreme Court.
Trump saying this United States Supreme Court case is literally life or death for our country. With a victory, we have tremendous but fair financial and national security. Without it, we are virtually...
Okay. Look. I'm sure there are plenty of people here that a big reason why you guys probably, drifted away from voting for, the Democrats and stuff, is because they were saying shit quite literally like, oh, guys, this election is... democracy itself hinges on the results of this election. Like, it's fucking do or die, death, fucking nuclear fucking missiles raining down right now, fucking oh my god. All I know is that kind of doomsday fucking rhetoric isn't something that the people generally like. I'm gonna say this is not a great Trump tweet.
defenseless against other countries who have for years taken advantage of us.
There was a massive Supreme Court case yesterday where Trump's tariffs actually appeared before the United States Supreme Court for their legality. The Supreme Court will rule on that imminent question. Hundreds of billions of dollars are at stake because of the amount of revenues that have flowed into the federal government's coffers. There is a potential possibility they may actually have to repay all of the tariff revenue back to those companies if they are struck down. And it increasingly looks that way.
So Trump says if the Supreme Court rules against them, it's going to destroy the country. The other side saying if the Supreme Court rules against Trump, it's going to save the country. Let me explain what's going on.
All right, here we go. And how's it going then, though?
Okay, welcome to Liberation Day, April 2nd, 2025. We are President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Yeah. This is where a lot of people in just like trying to fact check Trump learned what tariffs actually are on this day. That's all I'm gonna say.
Trump is rolling out his reciprocal tariffs. He even has a handy chart to show us what it looks like.
Effective at midnight, we will impose a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles. And starting tomorrow, the United States will implement reciprocal tariffs on other nations. It's been a long time since we even thought of that. We used to think about it a lot. We didn't think about it for many decades, and you see what's happened.
So now all this on its face looks great, but I know those of you who understand the U.S. Constitution are going to say, well, hold on. The president doesn't have the power to lay tariffs or regulate foreign...
I think they do. But it's a power that was granted to the president. I think it was in the 80s, maybe. But like Congress actually gave a president the power to like place tariffs on other countries for like emergency reasons and stuff like that, I believe it was. Now, I will say we've not seen the president utilize this authority granted to him by Congress so fucking liberally, if I may. But as far as I'm aware, Congress has granted him that ability, and presidents long before Donald Trump have had that ability. Again, granted by Congress. Congress could, you know, claw that power back through an act of legislation, but like that's what they would need to do, right?
Commerce, that's power is specifically left to Congress.
Yeah, power.
Now, just because most of you don't believe me, here is Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and exercises to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States.
Well, this is interesting because this is in the Constitution. So now the question remains, well, are these tariffs legal under the Constitution? Because the Constitution supersedes any other law that can be created. And if you have a law in direct violation of what the Constitution lays out, well, that can be easily challenged and struck down.
And then a couple of lines down, it says, and to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with the Indian tribes. But now the administration would stop you and say, well, Congress delegated the authority to regulate foreign commerce and to lay tariffs to the president. And that delegation could be found in the law passed by Congress in 1977 called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. For the nerds who like the law, that's IEEPA 50 U.S.C. Section 1701 through 1708. Now, the president can use this law when there is a, quote, unusual and extraordinary threat arising from abroad.
Here's exactly what I was talking about. For those who, like, let's not move, I know I wasn't paying exactly attention because I'm trying to do audio balance here. But, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Congress has delegated the power to levy tariffs and stuff under emergency conditions to the president. But again, that's a very narrow it's a very narrow law, and I do think that Trump has been perhaps overusing it.
Trump administration says that it does have unusual and extraordinary threats arising abroad.
On April 2nd, President Trump determined that our exploding trade deficits had brought us to the brink of an economic and national security catastrophe. He further pronounced that the traffic of fentanyl and other opioids into our country has created a public health crisis, taking hundreds of thousands of American lives.
So you heard it for yourself. The three emergencies: trade deficits with other countries, fentanyl, and a public health emergency, all these drugs coming into the country. And then the last one was combined the trade deficits, fentanyl, created a national security risk. So that's the third emergency that the president is using. So after these tariffs were imposed, states and importers sued the administration. They had two problems. Number one, they said trade deficits are not extraordinary emergencies. They've been going on for 70 years. Now, all of a sudden, they're so much of an emergency that you have to use emergency powers. And then the second argument is that they said the president overreached his executive authority because raising tariffs is raising taxes. And that's a core Article 1 authority left to Congress alone. And the president doesn't have that ability. Even if Congress wanted to delegate it, they couldn't, based on prior Supreme Court opinions. So now I want to do something crazy and explain to you how all of this works from a legal perspective. So first, I got to take you back to high school social studies class. We know that in the United States, we have
I didn't have social studies in high school. I think it was in middle school. Or, actually, no. My last social studies class was 5th grade. And then it became history. And then I think I picked up government and economics again, like in high school times. But again, social studies was like a 5th grade thing.
Co-equal branches of government.
Yeah, they're the fucking this School of Rock. I fucking, you know, it would be awesome if we could actually like go through, maybe on Kick. It'd be awesome if we could actually go on Kick and like go through a bunch of old School of Rock videos and songs. I know there's a lot of them that I remember.
Two is legislative, that's Congress. Ring 3, judiciary. See, it's kinda like my circus.
Now, the powers for each one of these three branches of government are laid out in the U.S. Constitution. As an example, Article 1 of the Constitution lays out the powers and authority of the U.S. Congress. They can collect taxes, they can write laws, and they can regulate commerce with foreign nations. That is their authority under the U.S. Constitution. Next is Article 2, and Article 2...
Good way of remembering it is Congress has more or less out of any other branch of government, they have the power of the purse. That means any financial decision-making things that affect the economy of the nation is usually going to be under the authority of Congress, of the legislative branch.
Is for the president and lays out the powers and authority that the president can use. For instance, like the power to pardon people for crimes. That's a power solely vested in the president of the United States. And Article 3 gives the power of the judiciary to the Supreme Court. Power to interpret laws, to settle controversies, and so forth. Now, for this case, we're specifically talking about two powers. One, we're talking about the powers to regulate foreign commerce. That's found in the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3. And we're also then talking about Congress's ability to tax. That's in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 1. So everyone understands in this process that this is an authority vested in Congress. And if the president is going to use something like this to either regulate foreign commerce or tax, it needs to be given to him or delegated to him from Congress. So now, let me not hide the ball. The first question is, can Congress delegate this authority to the president? Well, the first thing the court's going to have to look into is what's known as the major questions doctrine. Now, essentially what the major questions doctrine is, it's the Supreme Court made up this rule that essentially says if Congress is going to delegate an authority like taxing to the president, it needs to be extremely clear in the language of the law that this is what they're doing. Now, in this case, the president of the United States is using two of Congress's authorities, one to regulate foreign commerce and number two to levy taxes. Now, let me break this down for you simply. If these tariffs were considered a tax, then the major questions doctrine would apply, most likely finding these tariffs to be illegal. Now, the Trump administration's lawyers
Sneaky cats,
have
how's it
made a
going?
distinction with these tariffs and saying, hey, not all tariffs are the
Not
same.
so sneaky. You just failed your your dexterity. Save you know. I actually saw you. So pointing you out.
The tariffs that are...
Where the fuck? Why would that happen? There, Jesus Christ.
Our taxing tariffs are designed to generate revenue. But these taxes that President Trump put out on Liberation Day are not revenue-generating tariffs. They are regulatory tariffs. Here is the Solicitor General saying
Well, I mean, well, here's the thing. You use your dexterity as your basis for your stealth check. So, you know, I wasn't wrong.
Congress is saying you have inherent powers to address international emergencies, and we're conferring on you the tools, including Article 1 tools, like, for example, the power to regulate foreign commerce. And I want to make a very important distinction here. We don't contend that what's being exercised here is the power to tax. It's the power to regulate foreign commerce. These are regulatory tariffs. They are not revenue-raising tariffs. The fact that they raise revenue is only incidental. The tariffs would be most effective, so to speak, if no person ever paid them.
Now, one thing that does hurt their position is that Trump was going out there saying that these tariffs were generating huge amounts of revenue for the United States.
And yet our country's taking in...
Hey, didn't he say... I'm sorry, didn't he say it was 17 trillion that we were collecting from tariff revenue, which is an insane number? I'm sorry, you're not going to get, like, what is it, almost half the debt of the United States over, what, 6 months of tariffs? That's not how this works.
Tens of billions of dollars and trillions of dollars, actually trillions of dollars in tariffs. And you know all about it. It's been amazing. They say, why are we taking in so much money? Last week they found $29 billion and they couldn't figure out where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf. And they said, how did you know that's where it came from? We're taking
Oh my God, oh Jesus, okay. I'm just gonna glow,
billions and even trillions of dollars in tariffs.
Which seems to cut against the argument that they're not revenue-generating tariffs. Now, the Supreme Court's going to be the one to decide whether this distinction between regulatory tariffs and revenue-generating tariffs means anything in this context. Now, the next question is that even if this power to tariff can be delegated, did Congress intend for the president to wield the power in this way? So the court had to go back and look at that law, the IEEPA, to see if it actually delegated the authority to tariff to the president. Now, the administration says, yes, that power was delegated because Congress, through the IEEPA, delegated the power to regulate foreign commerce. And since they are regulating foreign commerce, they're doing it through tariffs.
That plaintiffs argue that tariffs, IEEPA's least blunt and most nimble tool...
okay, this is... Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't mean to do that. Can we go back? Hello? There we go. Okay. So this is D. John Sauer. For the federal parties. I'm gonna say right now. I don't have the best voice either, but Jesus Christ. Like, can we get somebody else on oral arguments, please? Like, anybody else. It sounds like he needs a lozenge. You know what? Actually, I have a clip for this. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean. I don't, but I have to. I have a clip. I do. I have a clip.
Complementary psychological detox removes all your cognitive toxins, purifies your system.
Ooh, this guy on commission or something?
I don't think. Are you on commission? We're not on commission. We're paid by the hour. There's no incentive, really.
Oh my God. Okay, listen. We'll try the machine, but I'd like you to try something. Try swallowing the giant ball of snot that's dangling around in the back of your throat. It's disgusting. Nobody wants to hear that. That's what you do.
Okay, Rick, come on, enough.
I'm just saying. Okay, here we go.
Are virtually the only tool that Congress did not grant the president to deal with foreign emergencies. That is wrong. The phrase regulate importation plainly embraces tariffs, which are among the most traditional and direct methods of regulating importation.
So now, even if Congress delegated this authority to tariff to the president, it was only for a specific reason, right? Specific emergencies. So here the justice is questioning whether this emergency that was being used to implement these tariffs was an actual emergency worthy to use emergency powers.
It's of course the kind of determination that this court would grant considerable deference to the president on. So that doesn't seem like much of a constraint.
But it is.
And in fact, we've had cases recently which deals with the president's emergency powers, and it turns out we're in emergencies everything all the time about like half the world.
Now we have to transition over to
Oh,
emergency.
Jesus, that sounded
What
really
emergency
dismissive.
qualifies to allow the president to take emergency power? In this case, Trump is saying, well, we got a trade deficit, so we're going to tariff to fix that trade deficit. What if another president?
I mean, I just heard somebody make an argument that, oh, well, we're always in, half the world, we're always in emergencies, so, whatever. But it's not whatever. We have to define what these emergencies are and determine if they actually are. Because the president's emergency powers are, they pretty much do a good job of superseding a lot of the checks and balances that we are supposed to have set up, enshrined by the Constitution.
The president comes up and says, hey, it's global warming. We're going to tariff everybody because of global warming. Here is conservative Justice Gorsuch posing that question.
Could the president impose a 50% tariff on gas-powered cars and auto parts to deal with the unusual and extraordinary threat from abroad of climate change?
There you go.
It's very likely that can be done.
It's very likely that can be done. Okay, Jesus Christ. He just, okay. He just, oh my God. Okay.
That's very likely.
I think that has to be the logic of your view.
Yeah, in other words, obviously this administration would say that's a hoax, it's not a real crisis, but...
I'm sure you would.
Yes, but that would be a question for Congress under our interpretation, not for the courts.
All right.
Conversation with Justice Gorsuch that we had the climate change tariff hypo, and you indicated that there would be challengers to the notion that was an unusual and extraordinary threat. And I'm just wondering, under your position, would they be able to make a legal challenge? Are you saying the court would not be able to review?
On that particular hypothetical, I think I said that'd be a question for Congress.
So not a
I don't. In other words, that wouldn't be the sort of thing that courts would want to wade into. Is this really an emergency?
So what you hear there is the Trump lawyer admitted right there in front of the Supreme Court that yes, after reading the law, a future president who is a Democrat can use the same exact emergency power and raise tariffs for any reason they call an emergency. Justice Gorsuch gave his Democrat can raise tariffs 50% on gas-powered cars for climate change, but you can also do this for anything, right? There's a humanitarian crisis for LGBTQ plus or transgender people being prosecuted overseas. So we're going to raise tariffs on everybody to help that existential threat. Or you can say the crisis is one of DEI, equity and inclusion, or migrant safety coming across the U.S. southern border. So we can raise taxes to pay for the migrant crisis. Really think about it. Is this how much power we want to give to the president to raise our taxes for anything they want to pay for? And obviously, like I played earlier, Justice Kagan said we have emergencies all the time, which makes this one different than the others. Now that you heard all that, at the end of the day, the Supreme Court has to answer three specific questions. Did Congress delegate the power to tariff to the president under the International Emergency Powers Act? Because the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, gives Congress the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and exercises, and to regulate commerce with foreign nations. That means taxing and trade tariffs are Article 1 powers reserved to Congress. Now, if you say Congress did delegate, then was that delegation clear to survive the major questions doctrine? Because taxing is a major economic power, and Congress would have had to speak clearly and unambiguously to delegate that authority to the president. Then next, the court's got to answer, even if Congress was clear and delegated it, did they give him a blank check or did they limit it in some way? If it's a blank check, then it's going to be found to be illegal. But if there are limits imposed on this delegation, then it's more likely going to be found to be okay. And then last but not least, the court's going to have to decide whether trade deficits, which have existed for 40 years, really count as an unusual and extraordinary threat, so the president can use these emergency powers. Now, for the president to win, each one of these questions has to be a yes. If any one of these turn into a no, like for instance, this wasn't an emergency,
even one of them,
or
if even one of them are found to be a no, then it's going to be found that these tariffs were illegal, and that's just how it's going to be. So, yeah, Trump has the uphill battle here in terms of, like, what he has to prove for SCOTUS not to rule against him.
Congress didn't delegate this the right way, or this does trigger the major questions doctrine. Then the administration loses, and that loss could be disastrous because the administration would then have to refund about $100 billion to businesses that they unlawfully taxed if the Supreme Court finds that these tariffs were unlawful. Now, I need you to understand this is a quick explanation for something that's a lot more
It's a pretty
complex,
decent one.
right? The hearing was 2.5 hours, and I've truncated it down to a 15-minute video. So obviously, some nuances missed, but based on what was presented in this video.
You're good, man. I think you did a good job. I think you did a good job. What do you think, Chad? Don't forget to like and actually, we're gonna do this real quick. Bam! Here is the link to that video. You know, check it out. Give it its likes. Give it its accolades. I liked it quite a bit. It seemed to me.
Why you would have done it.
No, hey. Not yet, mother. Not you. Oh my god, it's all an autoplay or some shit. I don't know. Okay. What the heck? What is next? What is... Crap, I don't even... let me see. I guess I could go to my channel real quick. I really don't want to hear myself. Okay, we're gonna try. Nice, I was able to mute it, so that's enough. Okay, so, next one, okay. Destiny defames Hasan Piker. Okay. So, I was right on the order, I wasn't for sure. So, anyway, here we go.
Destiny has now defamed Hasan Piker in a leftist on a socialist battle. We're going to get into that today on Legal Minds, where we teach you to be your own judge. Christopher Andrew Esquire, American attorney. Enjoy my time here in the USA for however long that is, keeping that little mysterious, as I get into this creator drama and this potential legal issue for Destiny, who's already embroiled in deep allegations regarding his past sexual conduct, which is the course of a current lawsuit, including potential possession of CSAM on his computer.
No, okay, so right now Andrew's talking about, like, the allegations and the admittances that Destiny has made regarding, like, possession of CSAM on his computer and stuff like that. Not gonna get into all that, but I do believe that Destiny's comments here and his re-highlighting of, like, this is a long-standing allegation in a kind of, like, a train of thought here. It's common knowledge that, back in, I think Hasan, I don't remember the year, but a few years ago, Hasan visited a brothel in Germany, in Berlin. And it's alleged, and it is likely, or something like that, that, it's believed that Hasan has, like, he engaged the services of somebody who might have been under the age of consent in America, but not necessarily in Germany. Anyway, apparently Destiny has said some very, like blatantly defamatory things with no kind of disclaimer, with no allegedly, with no, like, oh, it's likely that this happened. No, he's just saying, no, it's common knowledge that this, that defamatory statement has been made. So, if that is the case, honestly, Hasan would have a decent chance at a defamation suit here. Yes, I believe the age of consent in Germany is 14.
And in an attempt to perhaps deflect from this is attempting to defame Mr. Hasan Piker, who is, once again, not doing well on the internet either, and is certainly subject to many of his own scrutinies, coming from Collargate to various other comments he's made and defamation of his own and other behaviors. So it's kind of the bad against the bad here, of which I have no particular dog in this fight, whether Hasan or Destiny prevails against each other. That is something I do not care about, but it brings up some fascinating legal questions and even some international legal questions as we get into today on the Legal Mindset. Of course, I've got the PowerPoint for you. I've got the PP, and we're going to talk about that today here with Destiny defaming Hasan. So let's get into it. Obviously, our players are characters in this, drama today.
Oh my God! Why, Andrew? That is, my God, disgusting. I'm sorry. Okay, sir, don't clip that. That was so rude. I'm so sorry.
This legal drama today is Destiny. Once again, I love this Attack on Titan version of him. It's just absolutely my favorite. But you got Destiny, obviously a streamer, and obviously a, once again, well-known on the left. And I think this is very critical in terms of their political position, because they're both jockeying for supporters within their own area. And that's relevant to one of the reasons that might be behind this is obviously people on the left are all fighting with other people on the left for their supporters, for people to follow them, because people on the right are not going to go and jump over and watch Destiny or Hasan. But people on the left could be persuaded to either go to the more radical end, you might say, with Hasan, or the more unhinged end with Destiny.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's more radical between, actually, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start a poll for and it's gonna run for the duration of Fast Facts, but we're gonna say who is more radical. And it's gonna be Hasan or Destiny, because I've heard them both say some truly unhinged shit, some very fucked up shit about when Trump's was almost assassinated and stuff like that. Destiny said some very torrid shit about that. I think he also had some fucking shit to say about Charlie Kirk and stuff. But I both of them are horrible. Which one is more radical though? Is the question. Yeah, but the both are dreadful. But the question is, who is more radical? So we're going to define this as I'm gonna actually add a qualifier here. Politically radical. Who is more politically radical? Hasan might take it just for the isn't there a clip of him literally calling for the streets to run red with the blood of fucking infidels or whatever the hell? He goes fucking nuts, I remember. Okay, look. If I put Raging Bull in here, it just he would win. He is by far the most. He's okay. No one don't that. Okay, start poll. Here we go. There we go. Who is more politically radical? There you guys go. We'll let that run, and we will continue here.
You got to pick your character there with either one. But now with Hasan, who's the other character here, and of course you've got his constant protector and senpai there, Dan Clancy. Hasan, once again, no innocent angel over here.
This this fucking thirst trap of a picture. God damn it. Andrew, you keep flashbanging me, man.
Hasan definitely has many flaws of his own, but even a flawed person can be defamed. Even a flawed person or a person that we don't like can still end up being defamed. And as we do it on this channel, I'm going to be very obvious and upfront and honest with you guys about this legal analysis, in which I actually...
Yeah, being completely unbiased, regardless of how shitty of a person Hasan Piker is, if you do something like blatantly defame him, I'm sorry, but yes, a flawed person, an imperfect person, a shitty person can be defamed.
Looking at it, it doesn't look good for Destiny. It looks much better for Hasan Piker. So this involves the Artemis brothel in Germany. Now, one important thing, and this is something that's very critical, and a lot of people lose this, particularly if you don't travel outside the United States, is that the engagement of sex work around the world is not like it is in the United States. In some countries, it's legalized formally. In some countries, it's legalized informally. In some countries, the definition of prostitution
Mexico's,
is something that is very
informally
narrow.
recognized.
So because of that narrow definition, it's kind of informally, it's informally okay, even though on the books, it's not okay. But in Germany, they've formally done it. And in fact, as part of that, much like the Netherlands and other countries, they said, hey, you've got to do things like provide, benefits for these people. You've got to pay for them. They've got to get wages. The sort of protections that you'd want if you're going to decriminalize sex work.
Okay, so what you're saying that, like, in countries where it has been either legalized or decriminalized, sex workers are actually considered a protected class of people with their own set of rights and what they need to have provided to them thanks to this legalization. That makes sense to me.
Legalize sex work and to make it safe for the people involved. And one of the people who's actually been surprisingly pro-sex work legalization is Hasan Piker. Now, why I say surprisingly, because his typical leftist allies are typically against that. In fact, the groups that are most rabidly against that are usually radical feminist groups, although there are groups on.
That's interesting. I thought, that's interesting because I thought that the legalization of sex work and sex workers was actually something that would be more politically left-leaning than anything else. Because, look, let's be honest. It's definitely not the right. The right aren't going to facilitate that. The right are typically more, religious, conservative, fucking especially the Christians who want to ban porn. I cannot believe that they would be the ones who would be for or actually supportive of, sex work being legalized. I'm just surprised. Very interesting.
On the right that are opposed to this as well. But once again, we're talking about inter-left battle here. So looking at this mega brothel, once again, a place that was established during FIFA because the owner, as he quoted during the World Cup, sex and football belong together. So he started this mega brothel, and it's been in operation for a while. But Destiny came out and said, if Hasan is going to reach so...
Holy shit. This is definitely the defamation. If Hasan is going to reach this hard to say that I kickstarted Fuentes' career, then I am responsible for his career 10 times over. Also, Hasan Blake, a 15-year-old, when he was visiting that blank in Berlin, that's why he doesn't like to talk about it. Yeah, that's just an you just objectively say there's no allegation, there's no if, ands, or buts behind what you're actually saying here. This is textbook defamation, guys. Because here's the thing, you have to... Yes, while it's true that truth is the ultimate defense to defamation, you have to prove it to be true. Especially if it's an allegation like this, because it's an allegation that you've made, the burden of proof is on you. Otherwise, it's not even like truth is the ultimate defense to... defamation. It's what you can prove is true is the ultimate defense to defamation. And can you prove that this allegation is true? Especially years out. Yeah, at 30 votes, 100% Hasan. Insane. Yeah, there's nobody... Exactly. You can't expect somebody to prove this false. You have to prove it true because you've made the allegation. That's just the burden of proof.
Hard. And once again, I'll give some context here. Destiny is mad because of Hasan's jokes about Nick Fuentes and him engaging in a potential amorous relationship. Once again, whether or not these things are true, who knows, right? Maybe Destiny wants to come after Hasan for defamation in regards to his relationship with Nick Fuentes. That would be a fun case to cover. But beyond that, Destiny was Destiny was mad about this joke, this fun that was made at his expense. And
somebody asks, McSkittles asks actually, please do correct me if I'm wrong, but can't you be charged in the US if you go abroad to engage in activities if they were under 18? There's tourism law, so perhaps I know that's the case in Canada. the issue, the obstacles that are going to be in your way in charging that is proving that that's why they came out. Okay, you have to prove that they went out to engage with sex workers that were underage. And now you have to prove that they knew that the person was underage. I'm not saying it's not possible, and then there aren't laws on the books. Maybe there are. I'm not an immigration/tourist lawyer. I have no idea. But I do know that would be rather difficult to prove. Like, that's kind of that's like, look at what the state would actually have to prove that you, like, violated this tourism law, if it were to exist.
So he clapped back at Hasan, and he said Hasan is going to reach this hard to say I kickstarted Fuentes' career, then I am responsible for his career, Hasan's career, 10x over. And once again, nothing about that first part is necessarily defamatory. They're arguing about whether or not they got Fuentes a start.
It's not, look, that's not even the thing. I don't even think this fucking allegation came out from Destiny. Destiny is just restating something that we ourselves have actually talked about briefly regarding Hasan on stream a couple times over the months. I know we or maybe it was brought up on Under the Tea or another podcast that I was on or something. But I remember on stream talking about these allegations months ago, far longer than fucking Destiny has started talking about it and bringing it back up again. But the thing is he's the one who's bringing it back up again, and he has a much more reach in terms of the audience and the reputational harm he can cause, and more importantly, he has enough in his coffers that it's worth it for Hasan to try and sue.
Who knows about that? That's really neither here nor there. But the second part is the defamatory part. And that is Hasan effed a 15-year-old when he was visiting that brothel in Berlin. That's why he doesn't like to talk about it as much now. And he continued, Destiny doubled down on this. And this is the part where it really gets into defamation, saying that's quite the allegation.
Oh.
And Destiny says it's common knowledge behind this.
Shit.
Common knowledge without providing any sort of proof.
But yeah, that's gonna do it. Because this can go in, well, Jesus. Yes. This is not good.
Without providing any sort of Carfax, without providing any sort of other thing, saying, hey, Hasan told me this himself. If Hasan wants to contest it, he can sue me, but he won't, because the truth is an absolute defense against defamation. Well, I hope you have a lot of proof of that, because just saying it's common knowledge doesn't actually do that. And what I think he means by common knowledge is it's on internet forums, it's on places that perhaps don't like Hasan, right? And put that line out there. So let's look at the actual facts here. So the facts about Artemis, when you look it up online and you look into, okay, what actually happened?
Okay, here we go. 900 police officers have taken part in a raid on one of Germany's biggest brothels in Berlin, making 6 arrests over alleged human trafficking and tax fraud. The operation follows months of investigation into the Artemis brothel. Brothel managers are accused of evading some 17.5 million in euros. About 20 million in at the time in US dollars in social security payments. What the fuck? Since 2006. Prosecutors allege that staff at Artemis were forced to pretend to be self-employed to avoid the payments. Police say the raid was conducted in cooperation with customs officials and tax fraud investigators. So this sounds like this brothel was in violation of, like, their workers' rights.
This brothel. What you really find is what honestly is a tax raid. And as we all know, the Joker even fears the tax man. You do not mess with the tax man. You make sure you pay your taxes.
Look, for everything that he did, the thing that got Al Capone was taxes, okay? You don't fuck with the tax man. You never fuck with the tax man. Just don't do it.
Your taxes, right? There was a massive raid on a German mega brothel. This in 2016. So remember, this is after Hasan visited, but there's a alleged human trafficking and tax fraud. And this was a raid in 2016 where they were accused of evading $17.5 million in Social Security payments. Now, this is something that is very common, not just with brothels, but with many companies where they make people pretend to be self-employed to avoid these payments for Social Security. I'm looking at you, Niji Sanji, VTuber companies. They do this all the time with, pretending people are self-employed when really they're making them work like employees.
Yeah, they mark you as an independent contractor. When in reality, no, you're much more in line with your duties and the control that your, company and manager has over you. You're much more in line with an actual employee, but they can't get away with as much if you're marked as an employer, which is why you're a contractor.
They were conducting this with customs officials and tax fraud investigators. And generally what was found after that, and there were several appeals and challenges here, but generally was that they were not paying their taxes properly. And that is very much on the nose with this. Once again, after Hasan was there, I doubt that Hasan has the capability or qualities to do German accounting and be liable for their Social Security payments. But the fact is that he did visit Artemis in 2010. And now Hasan does openly support decriminalization of sex work, which of all the positions out there, that's probably one that I agree with Hasan more than anything else, which is kind of crazy because that issue kind of splits along the male-female divide. Typically, most men across divides typically would agree with that. Some females agree with that, some don't. It's kind of split there. But that's a very interesting one, as a lot of the stiff opponents are the radical leftists. We don't know the age or the gender of any sex worker engaged by Piker. Now, I'll talk about that later because you can make an accurate statement about Piker and you can say things about his visit that are non-defamatory. The other thing is the age of consent in Germany is 14. So if he did engage a 15-year-old sex worker, it would not necessarily be illegal. Now, I don't know all the German statutes on sex work. It's possible that while the age of consent in Germany is 14, there could be some statute regulating German sex workers, right? That says they need to be 18 or they need to be 16 or whatever else. I don't know that. I'm not a German sex work expert. By the way, if there's some German sex work experts out there, please throw a comment below and like the video, by the way. You should like the video whether you're a German sex industry expert or not. So we know that. So technically, even what he said about Hasan wouldn't be accusing him of a crime. Now, it would be accusing him of something that would be damning to his reputation. That's very true. Yeah, that's especially if he's trying to imply that this was, somebody that was hired illegally and there was something illegal going on or being trafficked, etc. The other thing we do know, and this is once again, I think, very relevant to this, is that Destiny admitted to CSAM on his PC. He's essentially said that he has videos, etc., on his PC about Rose, who was at the time, and based on all the facts we know right now, was underage, right? Which fits the criteria for that. So obviously there's some deflection that needs to happen or that Destiny is trying to make happen on his part. So an analysis of the truthful statement, a truthful statement that is non-defamatory would say that Hasan visited a German mega brothel that was later raided for tax fraud and human trafficking. You can say it was raided for that, right? That's true. There are appeals. There's other things that happen there, right? And now there's a lot of talk about the underage person, et cetera, all the underage claims. Apparently that happened in 2013 and was unrelated to operations in 2010. I'm not sure. The details on that are very sparse. It's hard to find exactly what happened in 2013. It might have been related to somebody who was working there but did it outside of business or regular operations. But as far as I know, this place is still operating. And based on its continued operation, you would assume that regular operations do not engage people that are under Germany's age of consent. So that would be a assumption, and that's important for defamation, because if he's trying to accuse that, hey, this person engaged in something underage, well, it would appear that that was not the case in 2010, and therefore the most you could say, and I think this is fair, is that if Hasan visited Artemis in 2010, he likely engaged a sex worker, right? Likely.
But yeah,
you can't say for sure because you don't know. Now, what Destiny is implying is that he was sitting in the chair in the corner. Now, while Destiny is very used to sitting in the chair in the corner while other people enjoy women behind him, I don't think he was in there in the room with Hasan. Hasan can testify to that himself. unless Destiny was in the room watching him, I don't think there's any proof of that Destiny could possibly muster that would meet an appropriate bar that would get him scot-free off of defamation at a motion to dismiss level. Remember, guys, and we've talked about this with many cases, it's not about winning the whole case. It's about getting past the motion to dismiss, getting to discovery, and then getting him to settle. And I think Destiny will be forced to settle on this because I don't think he's got enough bulletproof evidence to get that motion to dismiss and say, yep, truth is an absolute defense and I've got the truth. I know the truth. Were you in the room, Destiny? Were you sitting in the chair in the corner?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of, again, it's more accurate to say, rather than truth is an absolute defense to defamation, what you can prove to be true is an absolute defense to defamation. You can't just say, oh, you know, in your heart of hearts, I know it's true, so therefore I'm fine. No, you need to have some proof in the affirmative. You need to have something that actually shows that, yes, this is actually the truth.
If you were, I think that's a story of the century, but I don't think that was the case here. So my conclusion is Hasan has a solid case for defamation against Stephen Bennell.
I would say so, yeah.
Destiny. Destiny is likely deflecting from his own CSAM issues, and Hasan is a very easy target, particularly after Collargate. Collargate not going anywhere anytime soon, and Hasan is seen as a low-hanging fruit that everyone can just kick. But despite that, because Destiny is an apt target. He has the funds for defamation. He's somebody you might want to go at. Typically with defamation, you don't want to go at it with small fry, with losers, with people that are below you. But these guys are the same level. They're rivals. This would be a very appropriate case. And in fact, Hasan, if he wants to take a good shot at Destiny, this is the best legal opportunity that I think Hasan is going to get to take a headshot at that Stephen Bennell and Destiny that can actually wound him and perhaps not take him off the internet, but critically wound him at a time in which he is weak, right? He is projecting a false bravado at a time in which he is facing some illegal consequences. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one.
There it is. Thank you. Legal mindset. Being a baller as usual. So there you go. Okay, there's a fly in here and I have to kill. There we go. Wow, that was actually really fast. Okay, so we have a little bit more LawTube here, which is gonna be nice, but we have this is from the civil rights alert posted 8 days ago, and this is actually suggested to me by Papa Elfpire. So for those who, you know, who wanted to know who suggested this, that was actually by him. It was the other day too, but it was posted 8 days ago. This says, Dystopian town sends line cop to innocent woman's home. What the fuck? Okay, we're gonna... There we go. We have 4 more videos, it looks like, so... I have to kill Elfpire Eva 2025. Yeah, no, I mean, look, yeah. Remember, I am still a vampire, okay? Like, for every day for me to live, something must lose an ounce of, blood. You know, it's not even enough to kill them, but, you know, that is what has to happen. Okay, let's do this.
Hi there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. You know why I'm here?
No.
There was a theft of a package from on Tuesday.
When police, using their dystopian flock surveillance system, saw a green Rivian truck driving down the same street in the same town 20 times over the course of a month, they became suspicious.
You know we have cameras in that town and you can't get a breath of fresh air in or out of that place without us knowing, correct?
Okay.
You've been driven through, what, 20 times this month? You're going to stand by you don't know why I'm here.
I know.
And what made it even more suspicious was that the driver of that Rivian truck was a woman with blonde hair. Shocking, I know. So when a $25 package went missing from a porch in that neighborhood that the blonde bandit was driving her $70,000 truck through on a daily basis, it obviously must have been her, am I right?
I have you on camera.
Okay.
You taking a package and walking away. Is there any reason why you would have done that?
Nope.
At that point, the government...
Honestly, fucking, like, 2 things. 1, show me that footage. 2, I want a lawyer. Like, we're already at the point where, like, I can't believe this is even happening. One, that, like, you just fucking, like, Jesus Christ.
The government did what any good dystopian government agency would do. They sent a rude, bald member of their goon squad to the woman's front door to lie to her, to gaslight her, and to threaten her.
Since you're just going to deny it, I'm going to issue you a summons that you'll be showing up in court in Jefferson County.
Was it summons? I mean, if she's stolen something, why don't you just arrest her and book and process her appropriately? Why just a summons?
Well, can I see this video?
If you go to court, you can. If you're going to deny it, I'm not going to extend you any courtesy.
Okay, so there's my question answered. Oh, well, if you're going to deny it, no, I'm not going to show you the video. Oh, fuck you. Oh, okay, man. Okay, we're okay.
See if you're going to lie to me.
On September 22, 2025, a resident in Beaumar, Colorado, a small town south of Denver, reported the theft of a $25 package from their porch. The Columbine Valley Police Department, which serves the area, began investigating. They used flock cameras, a network of automated license plate recognition systems, to track vehicles entering and exiting the town. These cameras...
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? America or fucking China? I'm gonna ask my chat right now, what does this look like to you? America or China? Because this is not the America that, like, I was promised as a wee lass.
captured a forest green Rivian R1T truck passing through Beaumar from 11:52 a.m. to 12:09 p.m. that day. The truck was registered.
Everyone's like, nah, guys. That's just United Kingdom. I love it.
Registered to Chrisana Elser, a financial advisor living in nearby Denver's Fort Logan neighborhood, just 50 feet north.
We're in Colorado. No fucking wonder. Jesus Christ, Colorado's just... Yeah, look at all these fucking cameras.
Of that town line. Records showed Elser's vehicle had entered Beaumar, Colorado about 20 times in the previous month, which of course is consistent with her proximity to that area. Police also obtained doorbell camera footage from the victim, which showed a blonde woman approaching the door, ringing the bell, taking the package, and leaving quickly. Based on the vehicle's presence and the woman's hair color, Sergeant Jamie Milliman of the Columbine Valley Police Department...
That was your preponderance of evidence, huh? The fact that it was a similarly colored car, and that she had blonde hair. Must be the girl, right?
Identified Elser as the suspect without further comparison, or without further investigation, apparently. On September 27, 2025, Sergeant Milliman visited Elser's home to serve a summons for theft. The interaction was recorded on her Ring doorbell camera.
Hi there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. My name is Sergeant Jamie Milliman with the Columbine Valley Police Department.
Okay.
You know where Columbine Valley is?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. We cover the town of Beaumar, about 50 feet down.
Okay.
You know why I'm here?
No.
Okay. You drive through the town of quite often?
Nope.
You don't?
Oh, no, I work from home.
Okay.
Milliman stated that flock footage confirmed her vehicle's location and claimed the doorbell video showed her committing the theft. He said, "You know we have cameras in that town. You can't get a breath of fresh air in or out of that place without us knowing."
You know we have cameras in that town and you can't get a breath of fresh air in or out of that place without us knowing, correct?
Okay.
And he noted her frequent drives through the area.
Just as an example.
Okay.
You say you don't drive there, but you've been driven through, what, 20 times this month?
Probably my husband or I.
Okay, but this is you, right?
Both of us, yes. We
Okay.
both drive the same vehicle.
Okay, so you have you're going to stand by, you don't know why I'm here.
I know.
Okay. There was a theft of a package from on Tuesday. Like I said, we have cameras everywhere in that town. You can't get a breath of fresh air in or out without us knowing.
You can't? I'm sorry. You can't get a breath of fresh air without us knowing. And you don't see a problem with that? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. This is so fucking dystopian.
You know the quality on the camera
Yep.
doorbell you have.
Yep.
I've got that on my phone right now of you taking that package.
Where is this place?
I just told you.
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
No. They absolutely look. I need a lawyer. I mean, here's the thing. It's just an issue of a summons. So, just honestly, don't talk to him. Take the fucking summons, and tell him to fucking kick rocks. Then call your lawyer. There should be no conversation being had between this Leo, this law enforcement officer, and this woman. Nothing should be, okay, give me my summons, get the fuck off my property. That's what should be happening right now.
Camera.
Okay.
You taking a package and walking away. Is there any reason why you would have done that?
Nope.
Milliman insisted that the evidence was definitive, stating that it was 100% her with zero doubt.
I got it on camera. It is her. It is 100%. It is locked in. There is zero doubt. I wouldn't have come here unless I was 100% sure. 100%.
Where's her
It is
trail?
certain. It is on video. You're obviously welcome to go to. I'm sorry, but it's true.
Who
I
was
don't
I
make
marrying?
these things up.
Elser
Guys, all you need to do, take the summons, tell him to leave, call your lawyer.
on the other hand, denied any involvement or knowledge of the theft of this $25 package, and she repeatedly asked to view this doorbell footage, which allegedly showed her stealing this package. But Sergeant Milliman refused, explaining that showing it to her would be a courtesy that she did not deserve because she was lying to him.
Do you know anyone that lives on?
No.
Okay, well then I'll make this easy. Since you're just going to deny it, I'm going to issue you a summons that you'll be showing up in court in Jefferson County.
Well, can I see this video?
If you go to court, you can. If you're going to deny it, I'm not going to extend you any courtesy. If you're going to lie to me, I'm not going to extend you any courtesy. I just told you what I have. You're going to deny it. You told me you weren't in the town of Omar. I have you roughly 20 times this month alone.
I wouldn't say I was in there. I drive through there, but don't drive through there that often.
You say I don't. You work from home.
What
So I'm
day
not
is
going
this
to argue
happen?
with you. It'll all be on the summons.
Elser offered to show the sergeant her own footage from her Rivian's onboard cameras that would show her whereabouts when the package was stolen. But the sergeant declined, saying he already had sufficient evidence and she could just present it in court.
That's fucking
You'll be
nuts.
showing
That's
up in
fucking
Jefferson
nuts.
County Court, which is 100 Jefferson County Parkway in Golden, Colorado, on Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025.
Golden, Colorado. I
at
fucking know that area. That area is so fucking gay.
8:30 a.m. I will give you a copy of this, and your court date will be set then. Any other information will be on the back of this. It's legible is...
What day did this occur?
It occurred on Tuesday the 22nd. You were in town from 11:52 until 12:09 exactly. Like I said, nothing gets in or out of the town without us knowing.
11:52 a.m.
Yes.
The second. See, I need my phone and all this crap to know what day it is.
I can show you.
Dude, again, just guys, just fucking take the summons, tell him to get off your property, go inside and call your lawyer. Like, this is very simple. Like already we have minutes of footage we shouldn't have because you should already have these summons in your hand. You should be in your house and you should be calling your lawyer.
And here's when you left.
But there's just fucking, there's fucking 7 more minutes of this. What the hell?
12:09. That's when you left town.
To get
No, to stop it
Wait a minute.
and take a package. No,
I need to
no
find where this
joking. I
is.
don't
Yes,
need to
there
be-
is. I need to know where this is.
It doesn't matter. I'll be giving this all to you. If you're going to deny it to me,
yes,
I am not going to help you with any courtesy.
I'm just guaranteeing you, if there's any time driving through Beaumont, it would be for me going to work and coming home from work, and that is it.
It's not. It was when she went in at 11:52.
I think that's where I went to.
Driving the Rivian on Tuesday in the middle of the afternoon.
Tuesday? Where is that racetrack? Tuesday. I wasn't.
So here is your copy.
Only time on Tuesday.
Kind of funny because we have cameras on our truck, so we can show you exactly where we were.
Well, I already know where you were.
Yeah.
I have it on camera. I have you on camera walking up, ringing the doorbell, taking the package, and literally running away. You on camera doing this.
But fine. Nobody wants to go to court, but this is a summons being issued to you. Tibogamo, you don't get to decline. So fucking go to court or get a lawyer or call somebody or call the fucking court to have them actually give you a lawyer. But like do something here because guess what? A summons that if you're being served a summons, the idea of avoiding court is out of your head now because you're going to court. And you have to prepare your head for going to court. Like, yeah, nobody wants to go to court over a $25 package. But the fact that a summons is being issued means that's going to be happening anyway. So take the summons, tell him to fuck off, and then call somebody about a lawyer. I don't care who you call.
That should be pretty easy because that didn't happen.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm like,
I've got it on camera.
Okay.
okay, but
You know the quality of your camera, right? You can
Absolutely. And I also know the megapixel standards. I work in security, and it doesn't know.
Yeah. The megapixel on the new Ring cameras are unbelievable. It is her. It is 100%. It is locked in. There is zero doubt. I wouldn't have come here unless I was 100% sure.
Also, I hate that he says the term fucking locked in. It's locked in. What do you mean it's locked in? What the fuck?
Sure. 100%.
Where's our
It is certain. It is on video. You're obviously welcome to go to.
Okay, by video evidence, you have the Ring and you have my truck. And that is it.
Nope. Everybody in the town of Bomar has a camera.
Oh, I don't doubt that, but
I'm just telling you. I know it's unbelievable to you. I guess this is a shock to you.
The
But I'm
new
telling you,
megapixel camera. Guys,
this
them
is a
graphics.
lot. 100%, no doubt.
okay, so it's 100% doubt a lock.
It's 100%, no doubt, a lock.
what was
She
I
did
wearing?
I'm sorry, but it's true.
What
I
was
don't
I
make
wearing?
these things up.
So he issued her a summons to appear in court just right there on the spot.
So there is your summons.
Which is insane.
Like I said,
Because
it
that
is
means what
December 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, 100 Jefferson County Park.
8:30. Oh my god, 8:30 in the morning.
Quite. And obviously you are welcome to, well, you have to appear for that.
I'm not gonna lie. Look, here's the funny thing. Like, I'm pretty sure that you could call around. I would say you'd probably get 3 or 4 calls in. Just calling, lawyers in your area using findlaw.com. That's a decent lawyer finding service for people who, are looking for a lawyer. Again, it's called findlaw.com. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you could call 3 to 5 firms before somebody is going to be infuriated enough at this case, they're just gonna fucking take it. Okay, you know what? Yeah, we can get this settled for you with one fucking visit to the judge.
There's no way we can see this video or anything now.
If you go to court, you may.
Why can't we see it now?
Because you have not been honest with me, so I'm not going to extend you any courtesy of showing you a video when I don't need
But I can show you videos.
No, you cannot. I can show you.
Okay, show me that.
No, you're not being honest with me.
All right, we're getting our attorney.
Okay, and she needs to calm down with her hands and stuff like that. Seriously, like violently motioning with your hands in front of a cop is a good way to get, thrown to the ground. So don't do that.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Please do, because
I guarantee if you had this, that's fine.
You could show me right now.
Yes.
No, I could, but you could also
What am
be
I wearing?
honest with me.
What am I wearing?
You're
She
wearing
did
a
finally
white
say
top
attorney.
and black pants. It's all on video. I'm not making this up. I have no reason.
I want to know
make
where this
up.
where.
Pick this out.
I don't know. Where's
Why would
the
I
red
pick
tail?
you?
Where's? Hold on, I want to check the.
You guys have a good afternoon.
Elser located the doorbell video herself on Nextdoor, a neighborhood social app. A side-by-side comparison with her photos shows
it's not
clear
even the
differences. The woman in the video had a different facial structure, nose-shaped
Yeah, I mean,
cheekbones.
look, wine breath. Okay, I'm glad I followed it. Look, normal person, like, maybe she's had some, like, some Botox or something here, because, like, she's got a lot of, smile lines, but, like, nothing here. So that's a little weird. This is just a straight up fucking meth addict. Look at that. Look at the concave cheeks. Look at the, I mean, seriously, this is not the same person. It is just not the same person.
And apparent age, it clearly was not her. To build her case defending herself, Elser turned to her Rivian truck's road cam feature, which uses the vehicle's built-in cameras, originally for driver assist functions, to record 360-degree footage of the surroundings continuously. And this video confirmed that she drove through Beaumar, Colorado, en route to her Taylor that day, without stopping or approaching any residences. GPS data from her vehicle further corroborated her quick pass through this area. Elser compiled this evidence along with the Google timeline records and statements from her Taylor, and she sent it to the department. After repeated attempts to contact the department, Elser received an email from the police chief, Brett Cottrell. He had reviewed her materials, he agreed that they exonerated her, and he voided the summons. His email included the note, "Nicely done, by the way."
After a few weeks, Elser was able to get in touch with the police chief, who wrote her in an email, quote, "After reviewing evidence you have provided, nicely done, by the way, we have voided the summons that was issued."
She requested an apology for the way they handled this, including...
no, like, no, sorry, we get a little bit more than just, nicely done. No, you fucking tried to charge me and issue a summons for me for a crime I didn't commit. We are far past done.
The lack of follow-up calls, emails, and an in-person visit to the station, but she received no response. And despite local and national media coverage of the incident, the department has refused to comment publicly on their actions. If a police officer appears at your door like this, never assume that they will not lie to you. Never assume that they are not there with the sole purpose of screwing you. And never assume that they are going to do their job in a competent manner. And you absolutely have to remember that when police officers walk up to your door like this, that is a so-called consensual encounter. This is your home. Unless they have an arrest warrant, they have no more rights than would a Girl Scout selling cookies. Now, they don't have to tell you this, and they're not going to tell you this. They have no right to force any conversation with you. They're there to attempt to collect evidence against you, but that requires that you
that's the only reason why
participate.
they're
They
going to
don't
be
have
knocking on your door. Either that or your kid did something fucking stupid and, they're being brought home by the cops. But, like, if the cops are knocking on your door, you answer it, and they just are... Yeah, it's weird they're just starting conversation. No, it's not a conversation. They are fishing.
Tell you don't have to participate, but you don't. Just like a Girl Scout, you can tell Baldy here to get off your lawn, to get off your property, and he has to go. No matter how much they try to scare you or lie to you or gaslight you, they have no right to be there. And they wouldn't be there if they had enough evidence to get an arrest warrant. Just tell them to leave, and they have to leave. So also be aware of your surroundings. Be involved in your local government, your community, and understand what they're doing. Are they putting these cameras out and tracking your community? Is there anything that you can do about that? I've shown a graphic a couple of times of this specific area and where there are known flock cameras. I'll link the website below that shows this map so you can search for yourself. Are we willing to trade all of our freedoms in the name of safety? Especially where we have incompetent police officers such as they have at the Columbine Valley Police Department in this sergeant.
I got it on camera. It is her. It is 100%. It is locked in.
It definitely wasn't.
I wouldn't have come here unless...
That was fucking ridiculous. Alright, guys, that was, I believe... Yes, that was the last of LawTube. Oh, no! Oh my god, you can just hone the fuck there. Jesus Christ, with the autoplay. Okay, so next in our little lineup here, we have the advanced tech of the Roman Empire. We'll see how many of these I actually recognized. But without further ado, actually, it was posted 3 months ago by a channel called Lost in Time.
This may look like an ordinary clay jar, but inside it hides a
Oh, this is, I know what this is. This is, shit, what's it called? This is one of the very first, like, drink dispensers. If I remember right, what happens, and again, this is my guess, but you put a coin in the top. The coin comes down, and it should come down here onto this. This will actually cause the mechanism to go down here, like into the little, and this is usually wine or grog or any kind of fucking drink, you know, that they had. It would do this counterweight, and it would actually dispense using this freaking equilibrium tube here, a specific, like a cup's amount worth of wine or whatever. Yeah, this was like the very first vending machine.
Mechanism 1800 years ahead of its time. When you add a coin to the jar, it automatically dispenses just the right amount of wine or holy water. But how did a vending machine exist during the Roman Empire, long before the modern version was even imagined? While most people know the Roman Empire for its infrastructure and strong leadership, the empire also quietly developed technologies so advanced they still impress us to this day. In this video, we're uncovering the advanced...
For real though, like, with the fall of the Roman Empire, we lost a lot of things for a long period of time. Like, we lost plumbing, we lost a lot of shit when it comes... Oh, I think that right there, this guy right here, maybe he's gonna talk about it, but I'm pretty sure that's the, they had a, like, weird-ass steam engine type freaking device. And, yeah, fire would be placed down here. It would boil water here, and steam would come out through these tubes, and it would just cause this thing to spin. I'm not sure what this is, and I'm not sure what this is either, but we're gonna see.
Tech of the Roman Empire, all from completely automated doors to self-healing concrete that modern scientists only recently could explain. Yeah. To understand how advanced technology was under the Roman Empire, we need to meet one man, Hero of Alexandria, an engineer, inventor, the Tony Stark of the Roman Empire, if you will. Hero was born Greek, but lived in Alexandria, a part of the Roman Empire at the time. His inventions were way ahead of their time, and it's hard to believe Hero isn't as well known as Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, if the Romans had held on just a little bit longer, I fully believe that, like you said, they were only a couple hundred years away, at least, from a industrial revolution, for sure. I mean, they were that fucking close.
Some of his most astonishing creations are hidden in plain sight, just as seen in the technology behind this Roman temple. A priest walks up to the entrance. He pauses before the heavy bronze doors, then lights a small fire on an altar beside the entrance. Without a single touch from human hands, the temple doors slowly swing open. This isn't magic. It's a part of Hero's impressive design. Beneath the altar, water and air were sealed in a hidden container. When the fire was lit, it heated the air, which expanded and built up pressure.
Holy
the pressure
shit,
pushed the water through a pipe into a different container. As this container was filled with water, the increased weight pulled it down. The container was connected to two...
So, you would light the pyre for the temple, and when it was time for, the pilgrims and stuff on their pilgrimage to visit these temples to actually come in, the fucking doors would open automatically, as if being opened by the goddamn fucking Romans, goddamn.
Ropes tightened around two poles, and when turned, the doors would open automatically. When the fire was put out, the air cooled, the pressure dropped, and the water flowed back to its original container through negative pressure. The doors slowly closed as the system reset itself. And if you think this was impressive, just wait until you see how the Romans could tell time by just using water and gravity. But first, let's see how the Romans almost entered the Industrial Revolution nearly 2,000 years before it actually happened. Rome changed human history forever, but this invention might have been their greatest missed opportunity: the steam engine. An invention so powerful it would later ignite the Industrial Revolution and reshape the modern world. and yet the Romans dismissed it. Behind the invention, of course, was Hero of Alexandria. Among his many creations, the Elfpire stands out, and it was in fact the first documented reaction steam turbine in history. The machine consisted of a hollow metal sphere with one nozzle on each side, mounted on pivoting tubes. Beneath it was a sealed kettle lifted from the ground. The purpose was to heat the kettle from below. When the fire was lit, the water inside the kettle boiled and the steam rose up through the two pipes, all the way into the sphere. With nowhere to escape, the steam would have to go through the nozzles, forcing the sphere to spin. It worked, a functioning steam engine in the 1st century, something that wasn't reinvented until 1712. But people saw it as a spectacle rather than a machine for work. Unknowingly, he had stumbled upon the core principle that would shape the world into the modern era. But the next invention on the list was completely unexplained for even longer, and scientists couldn't figure it out until 2023. There are multiple examples of modern concrete structures that have crumbled after just a few decades, yet some of the most remarkable Roman buildings still stand nearly 2,000 years later. But how? The answer almost sounds like magic. They used self-healing concrete. MIT researchers worked to solve this mystery for years, and when they finally
I was never sure how the fuck Roman concrete healed itself.
figured it out, they realized something incredible. What seemed like low-quality mixing of the concrete turned out to be very intentional and actually the key to its incredible lifespan. Because Roman engineers weren't just creating regular concrete. They combined volcanic ash, volcanic tephra, sand, quicklime, and water. But the materials used weren't the only unconventional part of the process. They mixed the concrete under high temperatures, a method called hot mixing. Water is the most common cause of weaknesses in regular concrete, but the Roman mixture didn't just resist water, it reacted with it. When cracks formed and moisture seeped in, chunks of lime inside the concrete dissolved and triggered a chemical reaction, creating a calcium-saturated solution that flowed into the cracks, essentially gluing the structure back together. When MIT
motherfuckers! That's genius.
Researchers recreated the Roman concrete, they caused damage to the structure and added water to the cracks. The results were astonishing. The cracks completely healed all by themselves within only 2 weeks. This allowed Romans to break free from basic stone and brick structures, unlocking architectural design that seemed impossible for
Yeah, but here's the thing. The thing about Roman concrete versus modern concrete, right? I know the best concrete that we have now is similar to this, but we would have to build concrete structures with rebar. They just used fucking concrete. Sometimes there would be a wooden beam in there, but honestly, it wasn't really needed.
the time, like the Pantheon, which is still the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world. A building so advanced, modern engineers still study it today. The same self-healing concrete was used in Rome's vast aqueduct system, carrying something as essential as water over 400 kilometers across complicated terrain. Something else that's essential is time. But how did they keep track of time before electricity? Well, they of course used the sun. But this method of timekeeping had many flaws. To find the solution to this problem, we have to move even further back in time. Actually, even before the Roman Empire. But this invention turned out to be so influential, I had to include it in the video. It was Ctesibius, a Greek inventor living in Alexandria, who set out to solve this problem. One cloudy day, Ctesibius wondered what time it was and went outside to check the sundial. But without the sundial was useless. So Ctesibius came up with a better idea. He designed a clock so advanced it would take history centuries to catch up. Although Ctesibius lived in Egypt before the Roman Empire ruled in Alexandria, his invention greatly influenced the Romans. Without the luxury of electricity, Ctesibius designed the first automated clock powered only by gravity and flow. The clock had two containers. The first container was filled up to give the second container a constant flow of water. As the level water rose, it pushed a float that moved a dial marking the current time on a chart. At the end of the day, the water would reach the top of the container, but instead of spilling over, The excess water would leave the container through a siphon,
Oh,
which
it's
reset
just a
the clock
siphon.
and made it track a new day. But to Eusebius,
Okay.
this was a simple mechanic that only solved part of the problem. He knew that seasons would affect the length of sun time throughout the day. To account for this, the water would move through the siphon and spill over to a water wheel. With the smart use of gears, the time chart would rotate to adjust for a new day. This made Eusebius's
No
clock
way.
incredibly accurate for its time. If you want to
That's so
learn more about
fucking-
this ancient
that's
clock,
so
I'd recommend you
fucking
take a look
ridiculous.
at Deconstructed's video, where they go into much more detail. By the way, I've made posters and designs for all the historical innovations seen in this video. For example,
Okay, that's
this
pretty
poster
cool.
breaking down the smallest Roman lock ever discovered, which you'll see later in this video. I hope these will work as a
Okay.
conversation starter for history fans out there. Everything's available now
Damn.
at lostintime.io, including
I might
old
have to check
restored
that
maps
out.
from hundreds of years ago. And if you join the newsletter, you'll get 15% off your entire order. Now, back to the video. Feeding some of the largest cities in ancient Europe took more than just farming. It took serious engineering. The demand for food led the Romans to create a factory, 1,500 years before the word factory even existed. In the south of France, archaeologists uncovered the remains of a massive flour mill complex, capable of producing up to 25 tons of flour each day.
That's
it had
a lot of fucking
16
flour.
water wheels, all lined up downhill, powered by flowing water from 2 aqueducts. This wasn't some clever village invention. This was industrial-scale food production, maybe the first production line in history. The wheels worked in sequence.
Okay, no, for real though, like, yeah, they were so fucking close to an industrial revolution. Like, this is ridiculous.
One powering the next, creating a continuous chain of motion. Each water wheel turned heavy millstones inside each building. Grain was poured into the millstones. The stones ground it into flour before workers bagged the finished product and transported it to the city. It took an estimated 30 people to run the whole production. That's nearly 1,000 kilos of flour per worker, every single day. But not every Roman invention was huge in scale. This is a Coca-Cola cap. And no, Romans didn't invent Coca-Cola. But behind it hides a recent discovery so small, it's hard to believe they could make it without advanced machinery. In 2023, German dectorist Constantin Fried made his biggest discovery to date. In a quiet field in Petershagen-Friel, 3 hours south of Hamburg, Constantin discovered a lock. But not just any lock, a Roman lock, and it was made of gold. The mechanism was mostly intact, even after 1,600 years underground. Insert a key, turn it, and the internal mechanism would release a chain, very similar to how a modern padlock operates. That is impressive on its own, but when it's half the size of a Coca-Cola cap, it's just unbelievable that it was made
How the
without
fuck did he
modern
do that?
technology. This really shows the high level of craftsmanship the Roman locksmiths were capable of. All of that engineering miniaturized. The lock was likely used on a small chest or a jewelry box, and thanks to a surviving chain link, experts were able to recreate a historically accurate version, 4 times larger than the original. It's the smallest Roman lock ever discovered. And if you think this one was cool, check out the poster in the store. It really helps me create better content for you. Let's get back to our good friend, Hero of Alexandria, and sometimes it feels like he could see the future, because he also built what was effectively the world's first vending machine.
Yep, here it is.
But instead of dispensing soda or snacks, it served something far more sacred: holy water and wine. By inserting a coin, wine would start pouring by itself. But how did this work long before electricity? When you add a coin to the top of the jar, the coin lands in a pan, directly linked to a counterweight. Gradually, the coin tilts a lever, opening a valve. Once the valve opens, wine pours out and fills up your cup. The coin then slides off the pan and into the bottom of the jar, again closing the valve and stopping the flow of wine. It was a truly genius invention for the time, but the vending machine didn't stay popular for long. It wasn't until almost 1,800 years later that Hero's idea was revisited once again, first with a newspaper dispenser in 1822, followed by postcard and chewing gum dispensers a few years later. Today, vending machines are a global business and a significant revenue source for brands around the world. The Romans were way ahead of their time, and it's hard to believe how they created all of this with such limited resources. Speaking of making magic with limited resources, check out my other videos where I break down how they made movie magic in the 1920s. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please.
Very nice video, actually. Quite. Now. There we go. Alright, so we have 2 more videos. This one is from D&D Shorts, posted 4 months ago. And this is the entire D&D timeline in 11 minutes. This is the, Forgotten Realms timeline. Which, given that I am currently not in 1, but 2 Icewind Dale campaigns, as well as another campaign involving Forgotten Realms, I think it would be a good idea for me to go over briefly the timeline of D&D.
Hey kids, have you ever wondered why everything in the D&D world is awful and always has been? Here's why. The universe starts off with this guy. This is AO, and indirectly, everything from Marvel fatigue to the declining bee population is his fault, because nothing would ever have happened if he didn't make this. This is a beer tutorial. It's the world where we live, except it's not, because it's 40,000 years ago and nothing is alive yet. Except these guys. AO made them. Saloon, the moon goddess, and Shah, the night goddess. And they already hate each other. Also, bro, these two? Smoking hot babes. I don't think it's relevant, but every Wikipedia goes out of its way to mention it, so we are going to as well. AO, being essentially the CEO of the universe, is going to do absolutely nothing of value and steal all the credit. It's actually Saloon and Shah who do the bulk of the work. They make the other gods and spirits and create life on a beer tutorial. But wait, remember before when I said there was nothing? Well, it turns out there was. Out of that nothing came primordials. These primordials are ancestors to all elementals. They're insanely strong, and they love the new world like Elon Musk loves Twitter, in the sense that they want it all for themselves and are going to completely f*** it up. The gods don't like them, and so both sides start killing each other. Welcome to the Dawn War. Everything, everywhere, all at once is completely f***ed, and this goes on for 6,000 years. A bunch of things die, and some new things are born, including the nature spirits of the world itself. Those spirits, using the willpower of the planet, like the actual planet, make something called the Primal Ban. With the strength of a Discord moderator, they kick primordials from the server. Now the only way any primordial...
Right. Okay, now I see. Okay, that's interesting.
Can ever enter a beer tutorial is if someone invites them in. It's basically vampire rules. The gods then make the outer planes for themselves, their simps, and their simps who kill people. And the primordials make the inner planes, including the Feywild, the Shadowfell, and the planes of earth, water, air, and fire.
Yeah, damn right. And by the way, Eva C. Faylock, Chaos Smash 2 has my favorite shrimp doing that. I'm doing well until you fucking called me a shrimp.
But now, it's time for the... So this era starts about 34,000 years ago. The world is one giant supercontinent called There are 5 main races of beings at the moment. You got the humans. We suck, and we will for a long time. There's Fae, ancestors of the elves. You got Saruk, they're kind of reptile people, ancestors of the Yuan-Ti, lizard folk, and Naga. There's Aerie, bird people, ancestors of all the other bird people. And then there's, what the Hello, we are the Batrachi. We are the Frogmen. We are going to war with the Titans. Let's get 'em, boys! Yeah! Yeah, the final main group of beings, Batrachi, are getting their asses kicked by the Titans. Because they're frogs! Fighting Titans! But
you know what's super funny? We actually ran into a group of these people in a swamp. In Icewind Dale, I think. Somewhere. Anyway. No, it wasn't Icewind Dale. It was farther south than that, because it's a swamp. But... these motherfuckers had managed to get like a Hydra or a false Hydra or something, like trapped with them, and we were fucked because we were being like basically having it sicked on us. I was able to cast Fey Presence, which allows me to charm or frighten a target creature within 10 feet of me, as long as they fail my Wisdom DC save. It fucking managed to fail it, and I was able to just go. Remember Icarus? He did it, and I just pointed at the fucking Frog King. And so the Hydra just went fucking insane on the fucking frog people, and we got the fuck out of there. And that's how that went.
Strachey had a great idea. To win the war, they can just invite the Primordials back to the world to destroy the Titans for them. This idea was so clever that everybody died. The Primordials are back, everything's on fire, and it's the Dawn War Part 2. Somewhere in the chaos of this war, a Primordial called Asgaroth the World Shaper has kids. They're called Bahamut and Tiamat, and I'm sure we'll never hear from them again. Asgaroth also throws an entire ice moon at the planet. Women. Am I right, fellas? Finally, Ao wakes up and personally ends the war by splitting the world in two. Primordials get a beer, and everyone else gets Tauriel. And with that, we're into the Dawn Age! Okay, so remember those siblings, Bahamut and Tiamat? They are having kids. Not with each other, I hope, but also possibly. It was the olden days. Either way, those kids are the dragons that still exist in the world today. There are also giants now, and they have their own semi-divine leader, a dude called Anam, the All-Father. The dragons themselves are split between worshipping Bahamut, the metallic dragon of good, and Tiamat, the chromatic dragon of evil. This conflict turns into the Draco Holy Wars, which last for a few thousand years. Existence sucks, and basically everyone is a slave to the dragons or giants. Yeah, even the—
Okay, look, this just sounds like the Dragon Cult. Like, leading in Skyrim. Like I've been through this before, okay? I'm a snow elf. I've seen those sassy fucking dragons.
Metallic, quote-unquote, good dragons are enslaving people at this point in history. Eventually, the quote-unquote good dragons get sick of taking slaves and murdering each other and start something even more degenerate. Gaming. They invent a game called Zorvintal. It's basically chess, except it's insanely addictive for dragons. It's Flappy Bird meets crack cocaine. Around this time, the dragons also fight the giants in what is called the 1,000-Year War. Guess how long it lasted, you second-screen-watching mother— In the end, the dragons and giants vote to play a game. It's called Wario, by the way. Oops, wait, no, sorry. It's called Wari. Oh, by the way, whoever wins the entire war. The giants are represented by Anam, and the dragons by the other evil dragon. No, not Tiamat. This guy is Garrix, Dragon of Fire. The game ends in a draw, so the 1,000-Year War ends in a draw. This is what we call an anticlimax. Meanwhile, in the realm of Arvandor, there are some divine beings—
Oh, that's a good question, actually. KSMS, thank you for the 2. When am I doing another meme review stream? Probably, actually. Either this weekend or next weekend. I don't know. Probably next weekend. No, not weekend. Weekends are fucking filled to the brim. Maybe next week. We'll have to see.
Called Celadrin, who created the elves, and their leader is called Corellon. Oh, so many names! Look, this guy Corellon, he's got 2 consorts, okay? They're called Sehanine and Arashni. You don't need to know anything about them. The only thing you need to know is neither of them are currently a giant demon spider MILF. That is very important for the next part of the story. In the next part of the story, Arashni turns into a giant demon spider MILF after she tries to kill Corellon. She fails, and she's thrown into the abyss. She changes her name to Lol, and she's now arguably the most powerful being in the abyss, which is kind of like hell, but it's not at all, because it's the opposite of hell. That's a different video. Either way, Lolth's MILFy charm is so great that even having lost and being very clearly evil, she still manages to get a ton of elven followers. These elves will definitely not be important later. And then a meteor showed up and everyone started killing each other. Seriously,
sounds like the creation
that's what
of the Dark
happened.
Elves.
The King Killer Star makes all dragons go f***ing nuts. The dragon population gets almost totally wiped out in the carnage, and the empires of both dragons and giants fall. This leaves an opening for the elves and the Age of the First Flowering. First thing that the elves do, now that they rule the world, is create the Dracorage Mythal, an enchantment that prevents dragons from ever threatening the world again. Then nothing anyone cares about happens for 12,000 years. Then the elves try to create a homeland for themselves. It kind of goes bad. The continent called Faerun shatters, and the whole thing is called the First Sundering. But I know what you're thinking. Where is all the genocide? Well, don't worry. It's time for the Crown Wars, which is a 3,000-year-long series of of 6 conflicts between different groups of elves. The most important of these revolves around the Dark Elves, who are under the influence of Queen Spilth herself, Lolth.
Hey, look,
they
there it is.
decimate the surrounding kingdoms and slaughter everyone. This is elves. This is Lolth. This is elves on Lolth. The other elves start calling the Dark Elves Drow, which means traitor. They eventually beat the Drow back, who flee to the Underdark, so called because it's underground.
That's right. Get back underground, like you freak. I mean, what? I'm not racist. I promise I'm not racist.
Because it's dark there. Look, I didn't make the names, okay? I'm sorry. Anyway, after all that, it's time for the founding time. The founding time sucks. It's 3,000 years of nothing happening. But then, you happen. That's right. It's the age of humanity. Welcome to the human kingdom of Netheril, which you might have heard of in Baldur's Gate 3.
Hey,
Netheril gets its name from the Nether Scrolls, 50 magical scrolls holding insanely powerful magic. The kingdom of Netheril uses this magic to rise above all others, literally creating flying cities. For a very brief period, not everything sucks. But then King Karsus decides he wants to become the new god of magic by taking power from the current goddess of magic, Mistral. Oh, it doesn't go very well.
That doesn't sound good.
Karsus fails, gets petrified, Mistral dies, and all magic ceases to function.
Oh, what?
Mistral then reforms herself, now called Mistra and with an edgy haircut, and restarts magic again. However, there were about 2 minutes without any magic in the universe, which was enough time for almost every flying city to crash out of the sky. Mistra saves 4 of these cities, which is actually kind of a baller move, seeing as we literally just tried to kill them, but the greatest human civilization has fallen. Mistra then creates a new rule. All magic of rank 10 or higher is banned. The most powerful spells, like Power Word Ligma and Summon Mind
9.
Goblin, can no longer...
Okay, so basically, that's why there's a limit to level... Like you can only really cast level 9 spells.
Longer be cast by mortals. And wow, that was a lot of consequences to the god of magic dying. I'm sure glad that's never going to happen again within the next 2 minutes. And with that, we've arrived at the era of upheaval. Hey, it's been a while. How's God doing? Good, he's still asleep. I wonder what happens if the gods Bane and Mirkrul try to steal the tablets of fate. That sucks.
Oh, God damn
As punishment for theft, Ao kicks all gods from the outer planes and forces them into mortal avatars. Deities live among mortals now, which is just so embarrassing. Also, clerics need to be within 1 mile of their deity to access their magic, and a bunch of gods die. Chief among them is Mistra, you know, the god who literally just got over being dead the last time. Typical woman, am I right? With Mistra gone, magic goes crazy again, and the worlds of Abir and Toril start to collide. Meanwhile, people become infected with the spell plague and turn into abominations. Finally, a mortal mage called Midnight steps in to become the new god of magic and stops the worlds colliding together. However, during the near collision, a few things change. Dragonborn, originally native to Abir, slip through the cracks and now exist in our world. This doesn't change much, except nerds can now send you death threats on Twitter for asking if Dragonborn have tails. By the way, they do. Ao pulls all the gods back to the higher planes. This is the point that 4th edition officially turns into 5th edition, and it's called the Second Sundering. And that's where you are. We are here, and here is right now. All the events of modern D&D adventures and the Baldur's Gate games happen in this age. But remember, children, history is just as uncertain as the future. There are many conflicting accounts of everything we just talked about. This is just one version of events, and the details vary from source to source. Also, I skipped a lot of things. Vecna, Tasha, demons, devils, genies, there's a lot more to know. But hey, at least now you know why everything sucks, and it always has. Today...
A Cliff Notes version, you know? Nah, that was pretty good, What's... No, I'm not saying... You almost got me, Bug. Bug, you almost fucking got me. But no, absolutely I will not entertain you in such a manner. Almost fucking got me. Anyway, we have a last video here. We're going to react to some daily dose of internet. Daily dose, daily dose. Daily dose. Here we go.
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. This guy gave up on dating app.
Okay. It's so sad that Steve Jobs died of. I'm not saying that word. I'm not saying it. Like, look, thank you for the 2, but guess what? You need to donate more than 2 to get me to say that 5-letter word. And let me tell you. Oh my god!
It really doesn't get any closer than this.
Soup Carolina.
Yeah, you did right.
Thank you.
I you gotta be good. Whoa!
Every hour
Jesus.
last night.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That was so close. Whoa! Pretty. Okay.
What's that sound? That's not a boat.
San
It's a
Diego.
stampede!
Oh shit! It's a fucking. Oh, that's a lot of dolphins. Hopefully it doesn't. None of them.
Whoa!
Okay, that's enough that they can make mistakes and hit each other. Is that Lily? Maybe. Oh no! Oh Jesus!
These people
didn't look
found
good.
a really thirsty squirrel.
It's thirsty. Drink water.
Don't. Jesus. 1, that squirrel's pregnant. 2, okay. So we have a few problems here. You don't. I mean, if you're gonna give a squirrel water, you need to give squirrel water in a way that's safer than this. A squirrel not having any fear of humans and knowing to look at a water, oh, that's water, give me some of that, right? That's bad. And 2, this thing's fucking pregnant. Anything can happen with this, guys. And then it's gonna rip off your face.
Al final ha quedado flan.
Oh.
¡Joder! ¡Enrique!
Yo, Enrique! Okay. Oh, nice.
This
Wow.
baby's dad has an identical twin, and she was very confused.
Oh, no. Oh. What the fuck? Oh, poor guy. It's big.
So why does every house in this neighborhood look exactly the same?
Quite literally level 9.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Little boxes on the house. It goes little boxes on the hilltop. Little boxes made of ticky-tacky. Little boxes on the hilltop. And they all look just the same. There's a red one and a blue one. And an orange one and a yellow one.
Before.
Jeez, oh my god, that is so ridiculous.
This floating bridge in China looks absolutely insane.
Oh my god, guys, what is this? Okay, I shouldn't need to. Oh my god, do I have. Oh no, oh my god. That looks a little scary. That's a lot of raccoons.
What y'all doing?
Cats? Raccoons and cats.
What the hell? Are you tiny? Oh my god, he's in jail! What did you do?
How'd he get? What'd he do?
Run!
Oh my god, what the fuck? Damn.
This Olympic kite surfer was out practicing.
Oh, thank you, Nerdy Texas next Texan accountant. For the 5. I've seen a squirrel steal a sandwich out of someone's hands before. I also had a wild raccoon lick my hand before. Yeah, I mean,
When he saw someone that was drowning.
those are things that can happen. Oh, yo, what the fuck? Are we good? Oh, hey, be careful. Damn. Wow, you see?
I found this really old video of this guy throwing boiling hot water off his balcony.
No, hey. You guys gotta be very careful about this. It's really cool, fact. but it's also extremely dangerous. He's going to throw boiling water out in freezing cold air. Again, very cool to look at. Very dangerous to deploy. I would not suggest anybody do this unless they know what the fuck they're doing.
When it is minus 41 outside.
I'm not sure. Okay, dude, can you just calm down? What is it? What is happening? What? No way. What? Oh, come on.
This guy made a drone that is solar powered. What's cool about this is that it can fly non-stop for hours as long as the sun is out.
Yay, stay cool.
I mean, that's kind of cool. Oh, there she goes.
Hey, flying! Oh, it's
God,
a bit
it's
shaky,
barely
but
flying.
it's flying.
Dude, it's fucked.
This is what it looks like when a
so
tiger
much-
needs to get a CAT scan.
I just need his head straight. What we could do.
That is fucking terrifying. Oh hey, oh hey, oh hey. Okay.
These people got in a crash, and police weren't available to direct traffic, so a random guy in a Spider-Man suit showed up.
What?
Is it a
There's
police
no
officer,
way.
a firefighter, maybe?
No, we got Spider-Man.
No, Spider-Man.
He's fucking Spider-Man.
He just told me to stop. He's not happy.
Wow, that that was a weekly. We gotta go back. I'm sorry, that was amazing. What do you mean, no? Look at this thing. This thing doesn't care. That you said. Oh, there's no. That door's gonna fucking. Dude, he's right there. There he is. Yeah, or she.
He left a ball up in a forest to see if any wild animals would play with it.
I mean, I'm kind of. Dude, that thing looks retarded. Get it. Hey, got it.
This is how vets listen to the heartbeat of a snake using an ultrasound
Of a
machine.
fucking snake? Oh yeah, there it is.
I was recently in New Jersey,
yeah.
and this fire department let me go for a ride in their fire truck.
Oh, that's super cool.
I learned that about 70% of all firefighters in the USA are volunteers and have other full-time jobs. That is the end of this video.
True.
I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys
thank you very
again
much.
very, very soon.
That was awesome. All right. So guys, that's gonna actually do it for us for the night. Thank you for coming to react to content with us for the last couple hours. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell as hard as you possibly can. And we will see you all on the next one. By the way, stay around, because I am going to play some clips while I find out who we're gonna raid out into.
At VShojo, we believe our talents aren't just workers, they're family. And like
Hold on,
family, we guilt them into shutting the fuck up. From the
And now, the nations of the world who hate Johnny, presented by Eva. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam. Norway and Sweden and Iceland and Finland and Germany now one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey and Greece. Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman. Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq and Iran. There's Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait and Bahrain. The Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium and Portugal, France, England, Denmark and Spain.